Hello everyone, this is Joel Stanley from First Presbyterian Church in Richmond, Kentucky, and I'm here with you again for day 3 of our Gifted Vacation Bible School. Gifted is where we look at all the different ways that God has gifted us with creativity, ways that we can create things and sort of tap into God, who is God's self, a creator. And so when we create things, we kind of tap into that creative spirit of God. And today we're going to look at 2 specific ways that we can create. And we're going to kind of do a little something for each one of them. And the reason we're looking at 2 ways that we create today is that they're very similar. They're very similar. And the first way that we can be creative that I want to talk about is through performance. Now, I don't know if you ever performed before, or if you have different ways that maybe you do that. Maybe you sing, or maybe you play an instrument, or maybe, even telling jokes can be a performance, right? So when you perform, it's like you create something out of what you do, either a song that you sing, or you're creating something out of a character that you're playing, or you're creating something out of maybe a joke that you're telling, right? So when we perform, we create something, all right? So that's the first thing we're going to look at. And the second thing we're going to look at is worship. Right? And I'll tell you, I've been in the church a long time, and a lot of times people confuse performing with worshiping. But there's a big difference between performing and worshiping. There's a lot of overlap between the two. There really is. I mean, when we sing in a concert hall, we're performing, but when we sing at church, we're worshiping. Right? If a pastor tells a joke in his home, it's a performance. But if he tells a joke in a sermon, that's part of worship, right? Or if we play music as a concert, that's a performance. But if we play music at church, it's part of worship. So it can be confusing at times what exactly is a performance and what exactly is worship. But I'm here to tell you what the difference is. If you haven't guessed already, do you know what it is? And I'll tell you, it's one thing. There's one big difference between something that is a performance and something that is an act of worship. And that one difference is, who is it for? Right? If you are singing a song for other people, then that's a performance. If you are singing a song even for yourself, then that's a performance. But if you are singing a song for God, then that is an act of worship. It becomes worshipful, right? So the one difference between performing and worshiping is the audience. It's who it's for. If it's for people, you're performing. But if it's for God, that's when you're worshiping. Okay? And so we're going to do 2 things. One thing is going to let you create through performance, and I'm excited about that. And then the second thing is going to let you create through worship, and I'm excited about that too. They're both really great things to do. All right, so let's start with a performance. And actually, I have something I want to show you. I am pretty proud of this, actually, so just wait just a second, and I'll get him. And here he is. This is my buddy, Zach. Hey, Zach. Hey, everybody. All right. Yeah. Well, I don't. Some of you may know Zach because Zach shows up for our children's sermons all the time. I'm doing a lot of that lately. You see, and Zach is my good friend. And Zach, I don't know if you know this, and I hate to break the illusion for you kids, but he's a puppet, right? I am. Yeah, yes, Zach, you're a puppet, right? And a puppet is something that you can perform with. You can put on puppet plays. We do that. Yes, we do. You can do all sorts of things. Like, look, if I'm going to take Zach here, look at all the different things that I can do with him. What are you going to do with me? You'll see. Just watch. It's going to be great, okay? I can make Zach look like he's surprised. That's good, Zach. Thank you. So I can make him look surprised. Or I can make him look sad. Oh, that's good, Zach. Thank you. Thank you very much. Or I can make him look confused. There you go, Zach. That was pretty good. That's a good confused look. Thanks. I'm glad I'm helping. That's right. And so you can see that just through a little bit of motion on Zach's part, we have created emotions. We've created feelings, right? Just by doing a little bit of puppetry. We have. That's right. Okay. Well, thank you for joining me. Thank you. And we'll see you in a bit. Okay. Bye, everybody. Bye. Bye, Zach. All right. So you can use puppets to put on performance, and that's something that I really, really enjoy doing, and I do it a lot. And I wanted to pass that on to you as well, so that maybe you could do it with us. And here is the fun thing, is that you don't really need a lot to make a puppet. Now, Zach's a pretty nice puppet, right? I'm lucky to have him. But you don't need a big old fancy puppet to put on a performance. And actually, today, we are going to be making puppets together. And the only thing we really need is one of these, which is just a brown paper sack, right? Two of these, which are little googly eyes, and one of these, which is a black marker, okay? And that's going to give you all that you need to make a puppet, right? Because if you look, this paper sack has got a little bit of a crease right there that opens up that makes a very good mouth. And so when you put your hand in the bottom of the sack, you put your fingers down here, you can open and shut it like it's a mouth. Okay? So if we put some googly eyes right here, and if we use our marker to put some other features, we can make a pretty good puppet out of this sack and not a lot of stuff. And actually, I have already done that, and I'm going to let you see it. Okay? So here it is. This is the one that I made. Are you ready? Okay? So here is my sack puppet. How's that look? Does he look familiar? That's right. Oh, I could do all sorts of things with this guy. I mean, he and I can tell jokes together. He and I can put on Bible stories together. He and I can do all sorts of things. Actually, you know what? Hey, let's do, what about looking sad? You want to look sad with me? Oh, that's a sad puppet. All right, what about, surprise? That's pretty good. You were looking surprised. So we can convey all sorts of emotions, even just with a brown paper sack and some googly eyes and a marker. So I am looking forward to seeing what all you guys come up with. And actually, I'll give you a little hint about how to do this. All right, you see how his mouth lines up with that crease? And then on the inside, all right, I gave him just some teeth where his mouth was, and that little thing that dangles in the back of your throat, I think it's called epiglottis. That's the medical term for it, right? And so that just makes it look a little bit better. And then you can deck yours out however you want. I gave mine glasses because I have glasses, and I gave him ridiculous hair and a beard and a mustache because I have a beard and a mustache. And so I was trying to make Puppet Joel, and I think I did a pretty good job. Okay, so once we get these puppets made, right, then we can do all sorts of things with them. We really can. You can tell stories with them. You can tell jokes. They can sing songs. All right, are you ready? Too low side. He likes to sing. How about that? Right? So there's all sorts of different ways that we can create and perform with our puppets. And so I hope you're going to have a good time doing that. Now here's the other thing we're going to do, right? Because we're not just focusing on performing today, we're also focusing on worshiping. And worship is a performance that's for God. And so if you look in your packets, you'll find a little slip of paper that has a saying on it. And what we're going to do is we are going to put together a part of a worship service that hopefully our churches will be able to use when they have their worship services, right? We're going to do a call to worship, which is the part of the worship service where we welcome everybody to come on in, and we ask them to come be a part of the church, and we ask them to let Jesus come be in their hearts while we do our worship, okay? And so all you have to do is record yourself reading that little slip of paper, or if you are too young to read, if it's a little bit too difficult, if we could ask you to record yourself making noise in some way. We've made a lot of instruments already at this VBS, so maybe you want to shake your maracas, or maybe you want to ring the little bell that we did on the first night, or maybe, you don't even have to do those things. If you want to go grab some pots and pans and bang them together, that's something that you can do too. All right, so you can either read the little slip of paper, and we will put all that together in a video, or if you want to just make some noise and get a video clip to us of you making noise, we will edit all of that together into a call to worship, and our churches can then use that in our actual worship services, right? So all you have to do is just remember who you're doing it for. You're not doing it for people, you're doing it for God. And the scripture that we're using while we do this says that we're supposed to make a joyful noise unto the Lord. And so that's what we're going to be doing. Okay? So I'm happy to be with you again here today. I'm excited for all the great things that we have coming up, and I can't wait to see your puppets and what you do with them. I can't wait to see your video clips. If you could send those in to us, we can make a call to worship, and I appreciate that. And we'll see you again probably at the Zoom meeting later. Thanks, guys. Bye.